The dissent in Karnataka BJP, of course, has been simmering for a very long time. It began when Yediyurappa was replaced with Bommai, but in recent times when B.S. Yediyurappa's son Vijayendra became chief of BJP in November, it became more pronounced with many leaders voicing their objections. By the time it reached the stage of ticket distribution for Lok Sabha polls, one can safely say all hell broke loose. There is now problems galore in Shimoga, Chikkaballapur, Belagavi, Koppal, Davangere, Haveri, Tumkur, Bidar, Raichur and Chitradurga. As a result, today B.S. Yediyurappa was in Belagavi to take control of the situation and douse the fire, as it were. This is what the grand old man said.
ಇಡೀ ಬೆಳಗಾವಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಗದೀಶ್ ಶೆಟ್ಟರ್ ಪರವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರ ಸಭೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರಿದರು. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಮ್ಮತದಿಂದ ಜಗದೀಶ್ ಶೆಟ್ಟರ್ನ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಅಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಗೆಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇವೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಭರವಸೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನನಗೂ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಬರುವಂಥ ದಿವಸಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೆರಡು ದಿವಸ ಪ್ರತಿ ವಿಧಾನಸಭಾ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಕ್ಕೂ ಪ್ರವಾಸ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ಜಗದೀಶ್ ಶೆಟ್ಟರ್ನ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಅಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಗೆಲ್ಲಿಸಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಚಿಕ್ಕೋಡಿ ಎರಡೂ ಕಡೆ BJP ಅಭ್ಯರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಗೆಲ್ಲೋದು ನಿಶ್ಚಿತ. ಈ ಬಾರಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ 28ಕ್ಕೆ 28 ಲೋಕಸಭಾ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಗೆಲ್ಲಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಜನ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಗೆಲ್ತೇವೆ ಅನ್ನೋಂಥ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಇದೆ. ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
I read out the list where all the fires are, and there are at least 15 fires right now raging. Some of them will be doused, of course. I am not trying to create panic here. You may ask why Davangere? When on Monday, Yediyurappa met the outgoing Davangere MP GM Siddeshwar, whose wife Gayatri is the BJP candidate from there. There was an open revolt against her candidature by senior and former party legislators MP Renukacharya and S.A. Ravindranath. These are important names. These are the ones who actually kept the party together and gave it the gravitas that it had. In Belagavi, it is a sort of a mess and revolving around former Chief Minister Jagdish Shettar, who left the Congress to come back home. They were saying Garvapsi to BJP, but was in a rude shock when after weeks of uncertainty was finally accommodated in Belagavi. The point that he is a sure shot winner from Hubli Dharwad made no difference. It was of no consequences. But then, despite his so-called seniority status, several local party leaders are opposing his candidature. It is difficult to rate the level of fires in the party as there are many. Let's take a look at Chikkaballapur in southern Karnataka, where the party announced Dr. K. Sudhakar, the health minister in the Bommai government. That made Yelahanka MLA S.R. Vishwanath, whose assembly segment falls within the parliamentary constituencies, he read. In Shimoga, where Yediyurappa has decided to go alone, it was really tough on the part of Yediyurappa to convince his old buddy. And now Yediyurappa says that his supporters were receiving death threats. Mandya is yet another sore point where it is going to be former Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy as the BJP-JDS combines candidate. This has caused major heartburn as MP Sumalata Ambarish was hoping to seek re-election from the constituency as the BJP candidate. Look at all this. I can go on and on, you know. But what kind of an impact will this continuing episodes of dissent and confusion and revolt have on the party and of course on the Lok Sabha elections? And more importantly, what caused a cadre-based party to come to this stage? Let's debate. Let me now welcome our guest to the show. Dr. Lakshmi Ashwin Gowda, spokesperson for the BJP in Karnataka, has joined us. And of course, Dr. Baswaraj Itnal, senior journalist, is also live with us on the show. Let me first go to Dr. Itnal. Dr. Itnal, the last time we spoke about this, it was maybe 4 or 5. And of course, you know, the main ones like whether it is Jagadish Shettar, it is, you know, Sadananda Gowda, you know the drama which was there with Sadananda Gowda. At last he said, no, I'll stay in the BJP, but I'm fighting against the so-called nepotism, so-called selfishness, the father-son duo, etc., etc. Dr. Itnal, you know, they can keep criticizing the Congress for their guarantees, for water shortage, for Rameshwaram Cafe mess, for everything. But don't you think that this must be the lowest when it comes to the BJP in Karnataka, Dr. Itnal?
If they were to give a ticket to Mr. Sadananda Gowda, then all would have been fine with the BJP. Mr. Sadananda Gowda would have pressed everything else that is happening in the party. This is essentially a disgruntlement because he did not get ticket. Whether it is anybody for that matter, including Yediyurappa. If they were to give a parliamentary ticket to Yediyurappa's son, then there was no nepotism. The very fact that he is asking ticket for his own son speaks volumes about nepotism, the kind of stand he takes. So that is, it is essentially discontentment because of their own selfish goals. One. Two is, why they did not give ticket to Sadananda Gowda? Sadananda Gowda knows it far too better, far too well, Maybe whatever he is making noises outside is for public consumption. But why the party decided not to field him? There is history. A few years ago, the kind of scandal that he was into, and there were certain rumblings in the central cabinet itself. All those things, go into account here. But the issue is, who are you replacing with? You are replacing with Shobha Karandraje.
Yes.
Shobha Karandraje so far has got nothing to do with the Bangalore North constituency, where I also stay. I live in that constituency. But, there was a huge pushback for her in Udupi Chikkaballapur constituency.
Go back, Shobha. Yeah.
Yes, Shobha. And as far as Shettar is concerned, Shettar's issue and Yediyurappa or his son's elevation as a party president has got nothing to do with each other. Shettar was brought back by this RSS core. Now, RSS core is who in North Karnataka? It is Prahlad Joshi.
Yeah.
Now, will Prahlad Joshi vacate his seat to give ticket to Shettar? Not likely, right? And what is happening in Belgavi? Belgavi, the former MP, Mr. Suresh Angadi's wife, was the sitting MP there, and it seems that there is not much of a public affection.
Dr. Itnal, you understand politics very well, maybe, and you know the internal kind of wirings of it. But look at it from the outside. You sit in the opposition, the BJP, plus you have so many problems internally. The kind of messaging that it sends out, Dr. Itnal, when Yediyurappa was pulled off from the CM's chair screaming and shouting, everyone said, oh, you replaced Yediyurappa, that's why you lost. Now that could also be right for all the other senior leaders, no?
And let me complete my earlier point. Anyways, first I'll answer to this point that you raised. See, I do not believe that at least Karnataka unit of BJP is not party of the difference. It is not party of cadre. It is not a disciplined party. We have had a huge history of dissent here. We have had, public spectacles vis-a-vis when Janardhan Reddy went to Hyderabad and he took away a sizable number of legislators, bargaining for power and all that. All that has happened in Karnataka. And we have Yediyurappa who went to jail right from the third floor of Vidhan Saudha. From there only he was taken away to Parapnagra Central Jail. So all this is Karnataka BJP. Karnataka BJP or whatever BJP wants to project are totally opposite to each other. Actually Karnataka BJP is quite messy. Not now, for quite some time.
Okay.
Now coming to this Belgavi constituency, there is an interesting factor there. In Belgavi, that Suresh Angadi's daughter is married to Jagdish Shettar's son. Suresh Angadi is no more, and Jagdish Shettar was instrumental in getting ticket to Sumangla Angadi, the widow of Mr. Suresh Angadi, who was also minister.
Okay.
But that probably that is thinking that you asked us to give ticket to her. Now her public ratings have come down. You go and contest and win that seat back. Maybe that's what the party is trying to shut up.
All right. Okay.
But at the same time, in Belgavi, lots of people, including Prabhakar Kore and a lot of Mantesh Kautigimat, a lot of BJP leaders, they are not in favor of some outsider coming and contesting their constituency.
Dr. Lakshmi, I want to ask you, welcome to the show. It is so lovely to have you. Dr. Lakshmi, I see that both Yediyurappa and Vijayendra, both of them are only traveling from one place to another for the last 1 week or so, trying to douse all fires. Belagavi, Davangere, they went to Tumkur. The thing is that your party, and this is coming from leaders who are part of the party, to say nepotism, father, son, of course, no one can say it, ma'am. Dr. Itnal is right, because if you look at the Congress party, all only dynastic, You know, in Karnataka, at least father, son, mother, daughter, etc., etc. Even in the BJP, so far as Karnataka BJP is concerned. But it's very clear, Dr. Lakshmi Ashwin Gowda, your both the state BJP chief and also Mr. Yediyurappa, they are both facing a very difficult time. And I say why difficult? Because the elections are just round the corner.
Thank you for having me here, ma'am. Ma'am, the Bharatiya Janata Party being the largest party, largest democratic party with lots of internal democracy, with lots of public decorum, and the party optics being the tremendous, the entire electorate in the length and breadth of our country have decided to bring BJP back to the power with a thumping majority. It's already decided Modi will become the prime minister for the third grand time. Now, it is so common when the tickets are announced, the dissents, dissidences, the differences are so inevitable and they will happen. Given the political stature, given the political prowess, given the larger than life image of Yediyurappa and his political prowess and its managerial and political strategies will definitely able to resolve the issues that has erupted.
But there
at the
are,
so-called
Lakshmi,
discussion.
Dr. Lakshmi, but you accept there are problems, ma? Are you accepting there are problems? There are problems.
Yes, ma'am, there are problems. I accept. I do accept, and it is not true that only BJP is having the problems. Even Congress is also facing so many problems. Without having proper candidates to contest the elections, they had to bring kith and kin of the ministers, sitting ministers, to the electoral arena. Now they have fielded them, and as soon as their names are announced, there are so many.
Fine. So you are saying there are problems. No, I like your what you are saying, Dr. Lakshmi Ashwin Gowda. Yes, there are problems. That's very, very graceful of you. But you are saying they will be solved very soon. But the point is, Dr. Itnal, these are elections, sir. You know, people don't forgive you, sir, so easily. Don't let you go. Particularly when you are in the opposition, you can only say the party is corrupt, etc., etc. You don't have anything to show for, unlike the Congress. I want to ask you, day before, I was reading how Savadi said, oh, Shettar has been made a scapegoat. Did you read that? I mean, where Lakshman Savadi said, he's been made a scapegoat. Then, of course, the Mandya issue. Look at how horribly mismanaged the Mandya issue is. Sumalata was in Delhi, the actor turned politician. She had met with the BJP leaders in Bengaluru. She was sitting, and we all know that, it's not that she's a greenhorn, Dr. Itnal. I'm asking you a question. What kind of implications will it have when it comes to caste matrix? Sadananda Gowda, you talk about the Vokaligas, you talk about Lingayats so far as Shettars are concerned. Already the Lingayats were unhappy with the BJP. With this kind of, okay, let's fit this person here, that person there. How is it going to impact, Doctor?
No, let me answer this question in specifics, constituency by constituency. As far as Bangalore North is concerned, whatever is happening between Sadananda Gowda and the party and Shobha Karandaje being an outsider at least for these elections, and who is she pitted against? She's pitted against Professor Rajiv Gowda, who has a very clean image. He's he comes across as a man who thinks and who feels for Bangalore. He was on various committees of Bangalore infrastructural development, and he's man of letters and Bangalore not being an urban constituency, urban voter tends to gravitate towards people like Rajiv Gowda, who is an intellectual, who is a professor, and who had been involved in Bangalore infrastructure planning for quite some time. So that's number one. Number two, in Mandya, what is happening? Because of this infighting in BJP and JDS. In fact, Sumlata never wanted to give up, her candidature for Mandya, and she's still insisting. She's still insisting. You never know. She has been indicating that she might even go independent. And if she goes independently, then the vote will be divided.
Yes.
JDS, BJP vote will be divided, and you have Star Chandru there from Congress, who is a very strong man.
Yes.
So that will benefit him there.
Yeah. Dr. Lakshmi, I want to ask you, I've heard a lot of your leaders speak, Mr. Yediyurappa, even Vijayendra ji, everyone. Ultimately, the buck stops with the two of them. They've all said, we don't make the decisions. Modi will be Prime Minister again, and it's a central leadership. Who's calling the shots for Karnataka BJP, madam?
As I've already told, BJP is a cadre-based party, BJP with lots of internal democracy and public decorum and internal discipline. These differences which have erupted, they are transient. They're not perennial. They're transient. They're not permanent. They will be soon be doused off by the political leaders.
Sure, but ma'am, I am
already
asking
told
you, who's taking the decisions, Lakshmi madam? Is it the central leadership or state leadership? Because you are all saying about Modi becoming sure, you are the party, but the thing is, state is different from the center, no madam?
These state BJP unit has given the inputs to them. It is the central leadership who has to take a call, who has to take up the call. See, in the BJP party, we are known for the new innovative trials that we always been doing, because it is a sign and it is a hallmark of a vibrant political system, vibrant political party. We are not stagnant.
All right.
We are not resorting to the age-old political practices that
I totally
Congress
understand.
been practicing.
Yeah, I
So only
appreciate that.
Congress has been dwindling across the country because of its age-old practices. We are known for the new trials. If at all, if we are failed, we will definitely not repeat that.
Fine. Okay,
In
Dr.
the
Itnal,
entire length and breadth of a country, for every 4 MPs, we have changed 1. 3 MPs remain the same.
right. I mean, you're
More
yeah,
than
yeah, sure.
160
But then,
MPs
but
have
then,
given
but
the
then, it's
APR.
about perception, Dr. Lakshmi. It's about perception, ma'am. It's about now the game. Mr. Modi changed the political game in this country, Dr. Lakshmi, from 2014. जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. He says perception is reality. You can do whatever. What is the message which is, Dr. Itnal, I want to bring you here about perception, Dr. Itnal. You know, Vokaligas, Lingayats, OBCs, backwards, etc., etc. I think the point is that if a house is divided, much like the BJP in Karnataka, the one who's voting, unless he's a devout follower of the BJP, he's going to have two minds. Otherwise, the Congress wouldn't have come to power, Dr. Itnal.
See, as far as perception is concerned, the Modi factor, the brand Modi, it is not so strong in Karnataka,
Yeah.
Karnataka BJP, because it is all that matters in Karnataka, and time and again it has been proved, it is Yediyurappa factor here. If Yediyurappa is there with BJP, BJP wins. If Yediyurappa ignores, they lose. It has been tried and tested. Even RSS are tried and tested. That's why they brought his son back. So that's probably why this election performance in this parliament elections will be a litmus test even for Yediyurappa and his son. You know, because they will have to prove their mettle here. You know, last year around they were ignored for assembly elections and BJP lost. Now they will have to prove that with them they can pull the party, you know, out of the out of the bad times. So that they need to prove. And two more constituencies, I will just share my opinions.
Sure.
You were mentioning about this Davangere, Gayatri Siddeshwara and Renuka and all that entire people, you know, especially Renuka Chera is extremely close to Yediyurappa.
Yes.
Whatever he may talk outside, whatever protest he may register, if Yediyurappa asks him to shut up and stand down, he will do that. He is that obedient to him. But that dissent can be handled by Yediyurappa. Shutter factor, I just told you, that is a different ballgame altogether, because Shutter is faced with Jarkiwali brothers there. And that's a bigger game. And Mandya, for both Kumaraswamy and Sumalata, it is a prestige issue. No, neither of the parties are going to stand down there. They are going to test their powers, either with party, without party, or in spite of party. They will do that. Why they insisted on giving to JDS? Because Kumaraswamy time and again went and insisted. If I have to negotiate for 2 or 3 seats, then why I should form an alliance with NDA at all?
Yeah.
So that was his argument. So eventually BJP High had to give up and let him contest Mandya and Kolar. And Kolar also created the ripples.
Yes.
So all this together, what I'm saying is, BJP perception in Karnataka is that of a divided house. BJP Karnataka's image and perception is not brand Modi. It is divided house. But though there is a substantial amount of affection towards brand Modi, but local facts of Yediyurappa and this RSS rift and Yediyurappa going solo. Yediyurappa now is a gone cause. You know, it is.
Dr. Itnal, very well said. He is a cause, lost cause. But Dr. Lakshmi, I will want to tell you that, you know, he said that there was a deal that, you know, his son Kantesh, is that his name? I hope I am getting it
Kantesh,
right.
yes, correct.
Kantesh will be given a ticket, but he said later I was cheated out of it. I mean, there was no talk. Sadananda Gowda said, I had retired from politics. They brought me out of the woodworks and then they humiliated me. So somewhere I think Dr. Lakshmi, by what I gather from what Dr. Itnal is saying, and I have also been you know, reading Karnataka politics for some time, this is not Yediyurappa's doing, ma'am. It seems to be the central leadership which is actually directing Mr. Yediyurappa, because like Dr. Itnal says, Renukacharya, best friend, we all know how what buddies Ishwarappa and Yediyurappa were. On the bicycle, they would, you are far too young, but if you read, they used to go on bicycles, you know, to talk about the BJP from one place to another. For a brief period when Yediyurappa left the party, they have been like this. So do you think it's more of a central leadership's hand in the latest goings on in the BJP?
Madam, these dissidents are so trivial and frivolous that they can be almost ignored. Our BJP party doesn't run based on these one or two members. It is more than these members because it runs on a huge ideology, the nation first strategy, the Sanatana Dharma strategy, Hinduism, not based on these one or two trivial issues or trivial dissents. They will be doused off, as I've told you, in 1 or 2 weeks. They'll not be there. As I've told you, we have unanimously decided, we have unanimously placed, and we have shown our solidarity in bringing back the party to the power, in winning the seats 28 out of the 28 in Karnataka, and bringing back Modi again, and to see Modi 3 era very soon, just to have a stable political leadership, that will in turn ensure economic prosperity, that will in turn ensure pragmatic foreign policy and internal security.
Right, okay.
We are hoping for the best things, and these trivial and frivolous issues will be resolved soon.
I hope
through
it's
the,
trivial, Dr.
the
Lakshmi, because I can see that post elections, when Dr. Itnal and you will be on a show on News 9 Live, perhaps both of you will say the same thing. It was just internal dissent which
Correct,
did
ma'am.
BJP
Just
in.
1 minute,
I'm
just
writing
1
the
second,
headline today. Yeah, quickly, Dr. Itnal. I have to then take a break, sir.
The BJP's dilemma, so to say, is very much evident in Janardhan Reddy case. I want to ask the BJP representative, what are the reasons Janardhan Reddy was expelled for? And what are the reasons Janardhan Reddy is accepted into the party fold now?
Absolutely. I think that's another conversation. We'll have to mine very deep wordplay, you know. Dr. Itnal, thank you so much. Dr. Lakshmi, it was such a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you.